We're the Mythic Squad, the People's Guild. A passion for making monsters can't be killed. We breed the best pets, learn a lot, no regrets. Join us in creating excellence. Purple on our back, Mythic Squad on the chest. It's time for Ogre's Alpha. Welcome to the Mythic Squad. Let's go.
Ogre, a little late start here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm going to take the hit. Took a little longer to make food for the kiddos than I thought and break some bread with them. But I snarfed it down in like 5 minutes flat and bounced on up here. I'll get back with them after.
There you go. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Tavern Tales, a.k.a. Ultra Green Go? Love you guys. Thanks for coming in. Got a lot of info from today's alpha. And we had a special spotlight that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I was actually going to kick it off with the announcements, and then we can kind of rehash them at the end if you want to do that.
Let's go.
In my mind, we got 3 big ones that I'm aware of. Biggest thing, of course, is the tournament this weekend, and my man SI is in the chat now. Big shout to him, as well as ALP and Skiller and everybody else involved. I know it was very much a group effort.
Oh, yeah.
So, mad love, everybody. The second one will be Crystal Kraken tomorrow afternoon, 6 o'clock. We still got lots of slots, so get in there, get your slots, get what you want before they disappear. And of course, we got Mythic Time tonight, and don't forget about that merch store.
Yeah, last week's episode with Pieface was a fun merch-focused episode. A lot of good ideas came out. Shout out to Skiller, who's also in the chat, came up with a lot of them. And just, a lot of things going on. We've got the tournaments kick off on Saturday morning, but you can still enroll until midnight on Friday. That's midnight Pacific, aka 3 a.m. Eastern. Which would be Saturday, 3 a.m. Eastern. So if you haven't had a chance yet, roll in now. I want to give a huge shout out to Chalice, that's KJETLS, donating some jewel to the boar hunt. And then if you listen to the AMA, you probably caught Frisky Fox say 500 jewel to anyone that beats the 6 visages. Probably wasn't aware that we've got about 6 or 7 people that have been practicing those for the entire month. But hey, commitment's commitment. And then last one, the one that just got knocked out of the park. Shout out to Workhorse. Workhorse decided to donate 501 jewel, not to be outdone, of course. 501 jewel for the tournament as well. So, the tournament prize package is looking pretty healthy. I mean, we're talking like a couple $100 now. And, that's not even including the fact that there's also some great prizes. So I'm going to go ahead and share some of these. I know, these have already been shared on Intern Stream, but in case you missed it, here's a little peek into the treasure chest here. There we go. And just look at all that color. You've got a Legionnaire Wizard, 10 of 10 to start it off. Legionnaire, Pure Legionnaire, 10 of 10. Mythic. We got a Legendary Ninja Dark Knight. We've got a Paladin Scholar. If I win a prize, if I for some reason get to win one, that's what I need. I don't have a Mythic Paladin yet. Mythic Priest, Mythic Knight Dark Knight. Oh, Priest Ninja, Mythic Priest Ninja, Mythic Knight Dark Knight. And that's a level 10 Priest Ninja. Okay, I've got some thinking to do. Am I going to get this Paladin or am I get this Priest?
Dude, I mean, I'd be happy with any one of those. Those are all some sexy biatches right there.
Yeah, look at this. Green and blue archer, so take your pick. And then, of course, it wouldn't be the Mythic Squad if there weren't some slamming pets in here. But here's a preview. You've got a Legendary Death Snail with Mythic Fishing, and then, of course, the coveted triple Mythic Leviathan, who's a little hungry. It's beautiful. I don't have a 9x9 Leviathan, and it's tailoring too. Tailoring ice, of course. That's a great companion for any hero. But if you haven't gotten a chance to sign up yet, you still got time. Like I said, make sure you get in there today. And who knows, you could be the winner of a really, really slim prize box.
Hells yes. Dude, so much awesome in there. So yeah, SI was saying that Frisky Fox said 500 total. He definitely 100% said to anyone who beats it. However, he probably didn't think that was going to happen, or maybe one person or two people. And yeah, if we come back to be like, yeah, we have 8 people that beat it, Frisky, he might be like,
I know.
I'm not trying to do this, man.
Jewel.
I mean, those guys are working on like partial salaries, so I think 500 total that SI can dole out to people seems very, very reasonable.
Reasonable, except for we have an attorney in SI who had captured that AMA. I'm just joking. I mean, 500 jewels, whether it's 500, even if it was 50 jewel, we're just thankful. I mean, the fact that they're willing to contribute, give us that shout out, dedicate a quarter of the AMA to the Mythic squad. Come on. What more could we ask for from a project other than that?
Huge. Epic. I love the team. They're freaking amazing. That's one of the things that has drawn me to this project and kept me here the entire time is the team and their interaction with the community, their desire to maintain control of the project enough to ensure its success, but at the same time be a part of the community as well. I mean, heck, they're participating. We got Winston Jazz Hands stepped up, so now it's 2 people, right? Who was the other one?
KP.
KP, that's right. So we got 2 team members.
Just joined the Mythic Squad server today, so that's like a victory for the Mythic Squad in and of itself.
Who did?
Frisky Fox.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, like I said before, all these things that we dreamed of happening years out, like when we were planning what the Mythic Squad could be someday, have already happened. So here we are thinking of phase 2. And I'll just tell you guys, 2024 is looking bright for the Mythic Squad. I don't think we got a shout out for it on today's AMA, but we'll definitely be giving ourselves some love with the new 11th page lore that came out. I'll put that in the chat for anybody that hasn't seen it. It is corny, it is funny, and it is it's something that myself, Sticks Intern, and Dragonfly, Tails, as well as we had some help from Skiller as well. It takes a village to put out something like this, and it took out a lot of time. I mean, I had been saying we're done with the video last month, and I mean, from all the editing we had to do, working with the sound, a lot of work goes into making a 10-minute video like that. So hopefully you guys like it. We are working on episode 2 coming pretty soon.
It has a disappearing ninja, y'all. Straight up disappearing ninja. It's freaking epic. I love it.
It fit the character, it's a ninja, It's mysterious. And I mean, if it was anything but the ninja, maybe it didn't work, but hey,
it was awesome.
It's like clack out of the park. He's like the new Mark McGuire of DFK. So shout out to Sticks Intern. I appreciate all the hard work that you've put in so far.
Did you just dox the ninja?
What?
You weren't supposed to dox the ninja?
We're credited in the thing. That was the other thing I was thinking is, should we use our normal names like this? Like, should we use Starbuck and Sticks Intern, or should we use our alts? And
should definitely like have a credits at the end of it and put your match it up and like have your in stream or your in character name as well as the name that everybody knows you by.
Yeah, and then of course, next Tuesday, Monster Making with Mosh and Ogre, brand new series just started this week. You kind of got a little quick preview of what that's going to be this week. A lot of fun. Ogre's ran that stream like a champ. I'm proud of him personally, so shout out to Ogre. The first time is hard. It's kind of weird. You feel weird doing it. Then the second and the third, it just becomes second nature. So it gets easier and easier.
Yeah, I'm not stressing it. We'll get better, y'all. Next time we're gonna have like a little intro video like we do on the other videos. I did not prepare that, unfortunately. I slacked a little bit there. My apologies. It just missed it. Hey, but we'll get it. We'll make sure the banner's there so that y'all know I'm not giving financial advice. We're just advising and educating and entertaining. Right?
Yeah. There we go. But a lot of stuff went down in the AMA, Ogre. What were some of your biggest takeaways?
All right. Another announcement, you have less than 24, well, right about a little more than 24 hours to get that karate. If you got some of the karate drop, You have about a little more than 24 hours to get that locked in on the app, so that way you could potentially hit the winners and get some extra karate, right? It's a win-win scenario. Either you get your karate you stake back, or you get more back. You can't lose it. It's freaking phenomenal. I love the way they're doing that.
I got some of the champion gis. I think the prize pool for that they said was 1.5 million, but the difference is 1.5 million karate. But the difference is they're picking 50 people to participate in that. So I did that one. I like the chef one that's out right now. Shout out Skiller, our resident chef. I too was a chef. It was my first job. I was a dishwasher, and I showed up in a suit, and they trained me to be the chef because the chef just happened to have the same name who didn't show up to work. But I ended up being a broiler chef on day one, and they didn't know I knew how to cook. So I just stayed doing that role. And then a few days later, our head chef got a new job. So I was like 16 years old running like a really nice restaurant for a very long time until I couldn't, stop until my parents were like, you can't keep working until 3 a.m, breaking down the restaurant. We don't care. And then I had to quit that job. But
can I say,
did learn a lot.
Chef Vizzies, I think that everyone in the Mythic squad should get a chef's Vizzy, and send it to Skiller just in thanks. I know I'm going to, because they're awesome, and he does a lot for this the whole community behind the scenes. And a lot of people
says he wants one, he can consider it done. I'll tell you that much.
If he doesn't want it, then he can sell it and make a couple dollars off it. I don't care. But he is the chef behind the scenes, working in the kitchen, making the magic of Mythic Squad. So
for sure, Skiller is like one of the most humble people. I mean, you saw him on last stream with Pie Face, and I mean, he's just genuine. And like for me, that's like one of the things that I look for in a teammate, in a partner, and when you're trying to do stuff like this. And he's in the chat. Skiller, shout out. We love you, man. Hopefully you know that. Hopefully we send him enough love that he knows, his fucking his squad loves him.
That's all right. This stream is not designed for children. We're okay.
Oh yeah, we are mature audiences only. Shout out Jeremy, sous chef. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Very cool. And Jeremy, officially welcome to the Mythic Squad as of last week. Longtime listener and longtime DFK player, but finally happy to have you with the Mythic Squad and an official member. So if y'all thought about joining the Mythic Squad, we've got the easiest application process. You throw Mythic Squad in your name in the Discord server, you're in. No questions asked. You don't want to be in the Mythic Squad, change your name.
That might eventually change, or at least like to get behind the glass. Like right now, everything in Mythic Squad is wide open. Everybody who wants to come in, but
absolutely,
as we grow and develop and create more, like there might be opportunities that only people that have done some action or participated in something and gotten the official like super squad.
Yeah, when we announced our guild, and there's a stream if you ever look through our history, and it's guild time stream. We talked about what we were going to do for launching our guild, because a lot of guilds were launching at the same time or had already launched. And we made it very clear that right now, the best thing for our community, for Mythic Squad to be for the people, like we always say, was make it for the people. We don't charge you anything. There's literally nothing that you have to do to become one of us other than, add Mythic Squad into your name. We don't ask for money, donations, nothing like that. We do appreciate donations. Obviously, we try to give them back to our community as much as I can, or as much as we all can. But also on top of that, one of the things that, as the game change, and if there's stipulations for guilds in the future that are kind of input by DFK themselves, we're obviously going to implement them. But we don't want to do anything that's inconsistent with what the game does. And we have a lot of time, before the guilds actually start stomping. I feel like we've put in the groundwork pretty heavily this last year and a half to get a lot further than we thought we should be. I'll put it that far.
Yeah, and Sticks, we don't ask everybody for it. We just demanded your loyalty. Yeah. You're too good to let go, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, not really. You are too good to let go, but there's a lot of people that are. I love the comment. It made me funny. We ask for fealty, not taxes.
That's true. Science. Yeah. Ogre Duels is coming. What do you think?
Next thing on my list. No, I'm going to go 2 to 4 weeks. I'm guessing 2 to 4 weeks before we see both duels, and I think we'll see a portion of expeditions drop about that same time. Maybe like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we'll see one after the other type deal. It might be like 3 to 5 on one, 2 to 4 on the other. I mean, they got to have time to test each one, right? So that takes time off of what they're doing. But yeah, I think and you know me, I safe sided. I'd rather say and prepare for it to take 4 weeks and get it in 2 weeks and be like, yeah, instead of inspect it in 2 weeks and it take 4 weeks and then I'm all pissed off because my expectations were wrong, right?
Right.
So I try to avoid that disappointment and build in some little safe siding. I believe Fox said that a lot of the back end stuff was good. He needed to work on the front end, and he hoped by next week he would have it in testing. And then typically they do at least a week of testing. So I'm expecting it no sooner than 2 weeks and possibly an extra week if they got to fix or something.
Yeah, and if you caught Bullish Brovia on Christian Peters' stream this week, Christian Peters said, we'd have a good AMA this week. Check. Always count on Christian Peter for that. But he said next week's AMA is going to be big. He didn't get into any details, but, we got a pretty good AMA. I got a couple notes still here to go. But next week, I'm really excited for that one. I may even take an extra lunch break just so I can pay attention.
You didn't like the DYOR that I added to the end to do your own research?
Oh, did you add that? I took that off.
Yeah, I capitalized each of those and then put DYOR. I wonder if we have different, if that only did it for me, maybe.
No, I removed it. I did remove it. It was redundant.
What a dingleberry.
Do your own research.
It's educational, man. We might get new people just into crypto and they see DYOR all the time, but never knew what it means. And then they come in here, they're going to see ours and be like, oh, that's what it means. I just learned something new. And we just made someone's day. But you had to go and remove it. God! No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. I was wondering how to do that. I was like, I thought I did it. I was like, why the fuck did I do that?
It was part of all of this, the like training and practice I had, like designing courseware and stuff like that to teach soldiers about the crazy shit that I used to teach them about. You always had to use an acronym and then define it. So, yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. It was all like PLI location stuff so they didn't kill each other. But anyways, neither here nor there. Moving on. So we talked about both duels and the expeditions being like anywhere between 2 to 5 weeks out, hopefully one shortly after the other.
Oh, hold on. For duels, we're getting closer to perpetual seasons. And moving forward from where we're at, it looks like we're going to have fewer and fewer downtime between duels to the point where there could be no downtime. And one of the things too to remember, if you're missing out on getting some of those tickets or raffle tickets right now, you still got a great opportunity to rack in a lot by going to Adventure Arcade for 25 cents a game. You could use your heroes. And one of the things I've loved about that game from the jump is the passives. I don't know if all of them, but some of the passes are included. One of the alphas that we got from them is Second Life is already in play. So if you've got a hero that you've got doing one of the Adventure Arcade journeys or missions or chapters, you have an opportunity to actually use some of these traits that we can't even use in DFK yet. So shout out to the ADFK guys and team. I love that game. Really great way to, like I said, get tickets right now while we don't have duels and get in on some of those raffles where they're, while your competition is very minimal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again, mad shout out to DFK Helper. I got to mention them every stream. Like, they're awesome. Love them. Talked to Zealous. And actually, speaking of which, Sticks, I need to get with you because it sounds like you built something. We had like kind of a mind meld there at some point because that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to put my main account onto a bot. Well, here recently. Was because of the void hunts. And I was like, well, I'll never be able to make sure that they don't trigger, and half the time they'll end up being on hunts when I'm trying to do, on quests while I'm trying to do my hunts. And if I understood you in your stream last night, he actually created a tool so that you could basically set a window to where these heroes don't get pushed out and they're ready to go. And if so, yeah, we definitely need to talk about that. I need your help.
Yeah, Sticks Intern is our resident helper expert. I use just like a everything expert, but also Huffenstein and Hussein have been really great too. Hussein has got, I think it's called Making Money 101 or something like that. He's got a stream where For the last 21 days, he started with 21 heroes in DFK Helper, and he's testing the profitability of it. Really great stream, really short content, really digestible. If you have a second, you've been curious about DFKH, highly encourage you to check him out, or go to the Mythic Labs and check out what Huffenstein's put together. Or of course, you could always go to the source themselves. Zellies and team are very, very helpful and really know their stuff inside and out.
Yes, sir. Sorry, chatting in chat. But you mentioned the next thing I had, which was the perpetual contract, and basically just to kind of flesh that out a little bit. What that is it's going to be a steady state, right? Not saying the duels won't change anymore, but the intention is Fox will get that to a steady state, and then he'll be working on a few other things that he wants to get to. But the beauty of that is that once this comes out, we'll know what the next few duels will look like. And as over there, Starbuck mentioned, we'll be able to get them out more quickly to the point where it'll be one season ends and then you'll have the next one start almost immediately or potentially even immediately. It could roll right into it, depending upon how they do that. So those were the big bullets that I thought was really cool.
Very cool. Yeah. What was the thing about the buns in the castle? I didn't hear. I know there was like what was that? I missed it.
Humorous interlude. That's some OG stuff, like back in the day, kind of community lore, where originally the rabbits weren't there. I think there was like one in the garden with like maybe two others scampering around, and then like Flu got the tad of it. I'm pretty sure his wife even got a tad of it, and then like a few weeks later there was a bun invasion. They were all over the map. Everywhere you clicked, there were rabbits, and King Bun came and set up shop in Serendale. So yeah, that's some old school kind of lore that got brought into the AMA today.
Yeah, because there was nobody on the throne previously, and he's been there, I want to say, since Easter.
I'm pretty sure it'll be for life at this point, unless we overthrow it.
I'm curious why they would be bringing it up now. Like I said, they've been there since Easter.
I think it was like a question that somebody like went into like a little story about it, and they just kind of had fun and geeked out on it for a minute on the AMA. Now, that doesn't mean that there might not be something to it. Like they might be pulling them away. Like maybe the next hunt that comes out will have some other character that runs them off, and they'll build some new community lore off of that. Definitely a possibility.
Yeah, in my head, it was like they're talking about buns now, so that it will throw us off of the scent of potatoes, because I'm convinced potatoes are the next monster, even though there's no reason they should be.
They can't wait. We can't be. Potatoes can't be a monster because all the janky heroes that suck are called potatoes.
Well, potatoes are a pet class,
That is true. Very valid.
So, and the boars are a pet class. I mean, there's no saying that it should be a boar or a potato or even something that it could be even something brand new. Who knows? But I got a feeling it's going to be a pet again. And my bet is on potatoes.
That'd be cool. Hell yeah.
And here's Yara.
Next thing was
little bunny. Oops, let me remove that. Yeah. See it too. Shout out little bunny. Buns are my favorite animal. Don't tell the Bun King, but I'm actually a scientist on duty studying bun behavior. And this fully accurate bun disguise allows me to get super close without raising any suspicions. Shout out, little bunny.
Hells yeah. Good stuff. Let's see here. We also had there was a question. There was a lot of Q&A today because they're developing, right? They're focusing on getting those expeditions out, getting duels out. There's a lot that they are working on behind the scenes, along with all the collaborations and partnerships. And the spreadsheet, something they mentioned today on the spreadsheet is that everything on that spreadsheet, because there was a question someone in the community asked about, like, because it's broken down into two sections, does it all need to be done before the next Void Hunt comes out? And the answer is yes. Like that is all rolled into the one Void Hunt, which is why it's on that same sheet. So even if the top row is all green and ready to deploy and that bottom is still being worked on, we have a little bit of time. And yeah, it was an Easter event. Good call, Worm. That was like, 5 or 6 months after joining, early 2022, or I'm sorry, after launching. That first Easter after they launched is when they did that. Hells yeah.
I thought it was the most recent one.
No, flu wasn't around for the most recent one. That was in the early days before the crash. It was actually like right before the crash, if I'm not mistaken, when the whole market dropped, back end of the Bitcoin spike, and then everything else just fell apart. And a lot of people were new and didn't realize how it all worked. So they're like, why is the game crashing? Why is everything stuck? And it's like, we do what Big Boy Daddy Bitcoin says we do, y'all. That's the way this works. Everything is tied back to Bitcoin, then Bitcoin to the fiat, and that's just the way it works. So when Bitcoin goes up, everything else, the confidence and everything else goes up. And when Bitcoin goes down, so does everything else.
Yes.
Again, not financial advice, just sharing my experience, a little education there. So you can expect that if you're new to the scene and you've never been through a bull run before, strap on your socks and strap them on tight because it's going to get epic. Just be aware there is a regular schedule and it does typically come down. There's a lot of talk. This time might be the cycle to break all cycles just because of the pending regulation, everything going on. But I've heard that before. They said that last time too. So I don't know. We will see. We will see. Dooka. That was the biggest. Well, there's still some more. Oh yeah, and then we got the alpha and potential alpha.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's my first Moksha round I've found in a long time. Shout out to Mokshas.
Nice. Hells yeah. Fishing, foraging. Yeah. I found one.
Foraging, level 10, baby.
Yup. Hells yeah. Congrats on that. Ooh, shut up, other computer. Sorry.
Yara was 22. The Bun King was 23. That's what I thought.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Sir Worm's like my DFK almanac.
Yeah, I trust him because I was going off of my top of my head, and I smoked a lot of weed in my time, so my memory is not the greatest. So I trust you, Worm. You are probably right.
Me too.
All right. So some potential alpha that came out. Now we get to do the reckless speculation. So good thing we got the streaming going. Back appendages came up. The community question was asked about back appendages and whether or not they'll ever be like utilized in combat. Mm-hmm. And the answer that was given, I believe it was Hubert. I'm not sure though. Anywho, bottom line, it will probably never be seen in PvP, PvE combat, but there might be other places where it could be used. What are the back appendages? You got wings, you got teleportation, then you got those weird orbs, and you got the tentacles and spider legs and stuff. In my mind, it would suit itself perfectly to traveling. To where, like, if you have wings, the rest of the guys can have mounts, and you'll keep up with them because you can fly alongside them. And if you've got portals, you might just be able to teleport. So that would be pretty dope if they incorporated that just into movement around the map. Because if you haven't caught it before, like that's something that's going to be coming down the line, probably not in the next month or 3. It's probably like 6 months to a year or 2 out. In all reality, they got to build out all the combat and then do PvE after PvP. PvP after PvE, crafting. There's all sorts of stuff to come. Lots of stuff in the roadmap. But when we do get to traveling, I don't know. I could see that coming into play there. That might have been.
I would love to see even a fan-made game like Street Fighter Edition, where imagine you have Shapeshifter, and Shapeshifter has the same claw as Vega from Street Fighter. And if you guys remember that cage level where Vega could climb all over the cage, how cool would that be if the Shapeshifter could do that? But if the Shapeshifter had the arachnid legs, could move like double the speed in like a Street Fighter version of it, I would pay to play that. And even if it was a quarter every single time, I would throw it down.
Hell's yeah. And I mean, that's where this game is going, right? I forget, I think it might have been Sarge that was talking about it earlier. It was a stream somebody in the community had done. They were talking about like eventually in the future. Right now, we're basically beta testing, right? And there's a window to where they're not paying us to beta test. We're able to make some money because we are the first ones in. We're getting all the awesome stuff. And then eventually it'll roll into a regular game to where people are going to come in and pay to play this game because it's going to be dope and it's going to be full featured. to where you have PvEP, you have PvE, you have the ability to move around the map and all sorts of stuff going on, not even to talk about all of the community stuff being built. So there will be essentially a spectrum, right? And on one side, you have the consumers that are just finding the game late as hell 2 years from now. And they're like, crap, I'm just coming in, I'm buying stuff, and I want to play the game. And even earlier, like maybe some people don't want to farm the stuff. They're using the bots and selling everything off, and then just going to turn around and buy the potions they want. So those would be consumers, right? That's one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum would be the providers, the people that are maybe running the bots or doing it manually and keeping all of those resources, creating the potions and providing the promotions, creating the heroes through summoning, and then turning around and selling them to those cats coming in, right? So prepping for the degen waves. We'll probably see one at this bull run, I would imagine, reckless speculation. And then again, the next bull run after will probably be an even bigger one, because then we'll be more fully featured. And one more potential alpha. We know that the voids are coming, right? The new void hunts, and they're dropping some new classes with it. Afterwards, they mentioned that it probably won't be a long build after that before we see a couple more classes join the ability to play. So I don't know. I think you were going to, once they get this done, they're probably attacking the biggest one first, which is why it's taking so long. Biggest base class, mind you, right? Dark Knight, Dread Knight, Sage, Dragoon, all those are probably going to be a little bit longer. But I imagine we'll have all the base classes out probably within the next 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 months.
Hopefully. I don't know. I feel like
closer to that. I think it's probably going to be closer to 3, definitely by 6. I mean, because I shouldn't say definitely. Definitely not definitely, but probably.
Definitely.
Definitely not definitely, but probably. That sounds fun.
I mean, DFK time is not like human time, so
we'll see. Just like everything else in the bull run, DFK time seems to move more quickly, right? So as the bull run comes and all of a sudden all sorts of money starts coming up or coming in, and then they have more money for development. So they will, just like they did last time, they will hire some people on. They might do more contract work this time just because it sucks to have to fire people. And I think they probably didn't like that part. So hopefully they get a few new full-timers and then get some teams that they can hire out and just deliver something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've got, are we rubbing nipples now? Is that what's going on? Yee, Mythic time.
Our show, we think that Seer's coming out because we know that they've got the delay worked into us. Slow has been worked in, so is time. And all of those are functions that are the Seer has. There was some alpha drop that somebody saw some of the work that they've put in, and what they saw was Berserker and Seer. And I think that was you who told me that, Ogre.
I saw it in our general chat. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was able to scope it out from the HTML, like pulled up. If you're in Chrome, you can bring up like the developer console and you can read all the code. Mm-hmm. Somebody was snooping around in there and found something. And then I forget who it was, like it was Sachet or one of the other devs came in and was like, damn you, into our chat, basically acknowledging what they saw and inadvertently giving it that stamp of approval that, yep, they are definitely right. I'm not even playing on Sarandale right now.
Me and Too Honest have been doing our Gen 0 summons there for the last maybe 8 or so, and they've been good. I got a Legionnaire Mythic on that one. That was the pure Legionnaire that was donated to the Void Hunts, 10 of 10. And I think it's got a trade. It might not. I don't remember, but I mean, 10 of 10 Mythic, pure Legionnaire. I mean, come on. If it was a Mythic Bard, I would have kept it, but come on.
I need to spread my heroes out a little bit because I got 400 in one account right now, and we're about to start doing summoning with Mega Monsters. So I have a feeling I'm about to bleed over into Sarandale on at least one account, if not 2 accounts. So I probably will be, and then I'll just bottom. So I mean, just let it go over time. Where it might not be profitable this 1 week, where 2 weeks from now it is profitable. I'm not doing it for that. I'm botting for 1, the resources, and 2, to level up, because I've realized that I can't keep up. Like this tournament this weekend, I'm going to get crushed because my highest level hero is level 14. And I only have like barely enough to do 6 squads. I've been making sure that each time I do my private hunts, I have at least one that's like level 5 to level 7
There
in
they are.
there to offset. So all of my hunts are done at like level 10 or 11 boars. And then I'll have like level 12s and 13s and 14 in there. But yeah, so I don't expect to do well this weekend, but it's going to be fun hanging out and playing anyways. And who knows? Maybe it will work out because I am bringing up some priests, because that's something I very rarely use. Like I didn't at all until I tried stretching it out and doing more hunts. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to incorporate some priests now. But typically, I was running archer, warrior, knight up front. It was like that's my dream team right there. I use all potions, but that's my dream team.
I was very against priest. I mean, not against it. They just weren't working for me. And then I saw some players that actually knew what they were doing, and it totally changed my mind on it. Be Easy, Dragonfly, they are the ones that shifted my mindset on priests, where I think they're going to be a class that we see in a lot of setups.
Well, I think what I want to know is like level 15. That's when they can do that. They can actually attack, because up until then, you have like a max attack of like 30, 40 hit points. And like, so if you're not healing somebody that turn, that's a useless spot.
Oh, totally.
Right? That's why because
you can always skip the turn and then you gain, I forget what that word is, but it makes your turn come up. You gain, it'll come to me when I'm not thinking about it. Somebody in the audience probably knows. Initiative or something?
Initiative, yeah. Well, that decides like if you have the initiative, you go first. Or are you talking about? I mean, there's a turn order. I'm not sure what you're getting at.
You gain, you gain initiative. So it moves your turn order up sooner if you skip it.
So like if you hit days on somebody, then they lose the initiative and you gain initiative.
No, if you skip your turn, you come up sooner. So like if you didn't do anything, like you didn't hit, you didn't heal, you just skip, then you gain initiative and your priest will come up sooner. So it could help. So imagine you get hurt by an attack, you gain that initiative, and maybe it sneaks in before a wild charge, and you can use that to team heal or heal, your tank or something like that to prepare for a wild charge. There's tons of different strategies. Don't listen to mine ever.
Yep. No worries. And that was the biggest stuff with the alpha at the end. It was a pretty cool MA as always. Everybody should go check it out. See the original if you have the time, or when you have the time. Even if you put it on 2x. We try to cover most of it.
One thing that one of the new mechanics for version 2 is potion weights also. So there's going to be a balance of how much you can carry the potion weights, and the potion weights are different for travel than they are for battle budget. So that's going to be something that we're going to have a chance to explore with BYOP as well.
I think that's going to come more into play with like the longer term stuff, and like it'll be. So the way I see that being useful is you can bring like one anti-blindness, one swift, and one of each of those oddball potions that you might never use, and then load up on the health and mana. And from that big pool of potions during the match, you'll be able to select whichever one of those you want to use, and then you'll just have a limit of how many you can use per match, right? So you might be able to bring 10 to the match, but you can only use 5 of them. Right. And during the match, you will decide which 5 you use. That's the way I kind of imagined it from hearing the AMA. I'm not sure that's exactly what they mean by it, but that was my take on it.
I'm going to have to screen grab Six Intern's comment right here. Think of initiative as your turn order as a counter going, or think of your turn order as a counter going up to 1,000. Each hero has their own counter. Gaining initiative adds to that counter. Losing initiative subtracts from that counter. That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
All right. Like I said, you got one more day to sign up for the biggest tournament that DeFiKingdoms has had, with real prizes that you can come home with, and that 1,200 jewel prize or something greater than that now. I don't know what it is.
The biggest community side tournament.
Yeah, community side. Well, I think it's
those duels have been running.
Yeah, sure, you're right. But I think that the with this tournament, there's that 1,200 something jewel prizes that's available. Doesn't even include those awesome heroes and those pets, not to mention accessories, maybe some weapons. I haven't seen all of it, but we post everything. We try to be as transparent as possible so y'all can check out that wallet. I did put in the FAQs or I didn't, but I will. The FAQs for it is in our chat right now. And the Mythic Squad Void Hunt Tournament article is in here as well. So if anybody wants to see any of the particulars, feel free to grab those. Again, shout out to Chalice, Fox, and Workhorse for their donations to making this, an awesome tournament. So we're excited for you. And we'll see you all tonight at Mythic Time. Ogre, what do you have as your closing message for the people that love you?
Just remind them, well, number one, mad love y'all. I love you right back. And just a reminder, we got a lot going on, right? I mean, aside from all the streams that are coming up, we've got karate combat. We've got about a day to do that. We also have the tournament. Then we've got Crystal Kraken. We've got stream tonight. Like, there's just so much. It is a great time to be in DFK, y'all. Right at the beginning of the bull run, everybody's getting stoked. I'm glad y'all are here. We are the happy few that made it through. Fuck the bear market. Time for the bull, baby. Yeah.
Worm donated too. I almost forgot. I didn't see what he sent in, but we got that's what makes this community great. It's like we help out each other. We want to see this project succeed, and we take what we can into our own hands. You guys got to remember, I'm like a normal guy working a literal 9 to 5. Every chance we get to make something great in DFK, we do. And shout out to our Mythic Squad. We love you guys. We're looking forward to seeing y'all tonight for Mythic Time. Where we'll be talking about a little bit of Alpha, and then Beeve's got a huge summon tonight. So hopefully you all check that out. For the Mythic Squad, it's Ogre and Starbuck, and we'll see y'all tonight. Don't forget to catch us next week when we're on all the time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Later, y'all.
Bullet. The Mythic Squad, the People's Guild. A passion for making monsters. Can't be killed. We breed the best pets, learn a lot, no regrets. Join us in creating excellence. Purple on our back, Mythic Squad on the chest.